Welcome back, everybody. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Notes Podcast. I'm Steve.
Hi, Brandon.
Hey, what's going on?
Not a whole lot, man. Just back to work after the holidays now when we're recording this one anyway.
Are you finally not ready 2022 on stuff yet?
I think at this point I'm finally it's like 2022. Like I write 2022, but then the little swoop to the 2 ends up like, oh shit, and let's do that.
You get start with 2 and you're like,
get that extra. Yeah, the middle of the 3 gets a little loop de loop.
I kind of like it now that I don't write as much. My new job, I don't have to put as much, like I don't type as much, but it's just manual labor now, which is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
So I don't have to like write a bunch of reports and shit, so it doesn't bother me as much.
Yeah.
One of the things about going to blue collar, I love it.
There you go.
So getting dirty, not having to write, not having to think too much either. I like all of those things.
True. It's the American dream.
It is the American dream. Get paid to do a bunch of nothing. Speaking of the American dream,
yeah.
Because I'm just go with that here.
Okay.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Who are we talking to today? It's Friday.
It is Friday, and we are bringing.
Friday.
It is a special Friday, guys, because we bring on guests on Fridays for the most part. And I don't know how many times we had to try to reschedule this thing, but we made it work. Dang it!
Make it happen.
We made it happen. Whether it's comedy shows or sicknesses or what have you, we put it off, and then finally we're like, dang it, let's go. So here we are, guys. We are bringing back he's been on the show many times. This is like number 4 or 5 at least. And so guys, we bring.
Wait, go.
Starting over. Guys, we have podcaster, comedian, and all-around good dude. And I don't know. Probably if you guys ever want to see some cool, funny stuff on Facebook, you should go follow this guy because he says some pretty funny things. I'll put that out there.
If he's not in jail.
If he's not in Facebook jail, let's clarify, Steve. Facebook jail.
Man, hey, you know what? Hey, to be real though, I've mastered not going to Facebook jail as much as other people.
Yeah,
like out of people that talk a lot of shit on the internet,
yeah,
I don't go to Facebook jail that often.
You're more in Facebook probation.
Yeah, I do probation all the time. They be like, you watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So guys, you hear that lovely voluptuous voice in the background. Guys, give it up for Darius Stowers. Darius, thanks for coming back on the podcast, buddy. How are you?
Man, I appreciate you guys for having me again, man. Every time I'm like, this is gonna be the last time these guys ask me to come on here. And you guys asked me to come on here again. So I feel loved, man. I feel like this is a family, man.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We'll bring you
absolutely.
On. And I'm awesome.
So today is National Good Day Day when this episode drops. National Good Day Day. So why is it called National Good Day Day, Darius?
It's called National Good Day Day. Because I think didn't like some guys.
Oh, I got the exact reason as to what happened, but
yeah. So Ice Cube got a song called It Was a Good Day.
Yep.
Today was a good day, and I think some guys like kind of like based on the events of that was in the song, narrowed it down to this exact day.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know exactly what date it is, just to be honest, but I know they narrowed that shit down, and then yeah.
So we'll get to it. We'll get to all of that in a second here because I actually have the clues of what happened and how they figured it all out because it's hilarious.
So Darius, what album are we talking about and who are we talking about?
We are talking about the infamous Ice Cube and his album Predator.
Yep.
My God. Hey, look, before we even get started, my God, what a transition.
Yeah.
This guy has transitioned more than Bruce Jenner. It's unrecognizable, to be honest. Like when I was, you know what? I don't think I've ever listened to this album before.
I haven't.
Not in its entirety. And my God, and you know what? I hear a lot of gangster shit. I listen to rap music a lot. You know what I'm saying? Unlike Brandon, I listen to rap music a lot. So I'm not like immune to like hearing those types of things.
Sure.
But the Ice Cube as we know him today, it's a totally different guy. Like for real, like totally different guy. Like you wouldn't want to walk on the same side of the street as this guy in 1922. I mean, I said 1922, 92.
Mm-hmm. No, and I don't know. He got the come up of all come ups there, man. I'm not sure what the hell happened.
It's not even the come up. It's the change in his ways. It's like, I don't know. Him and Ice-T are probably the most unrecognizable rappers, like in all of history. To be honest, I mean, like, you know, you got those gangsters that kind of, you know, Jay-Z is a billionaire now, and you know all that stuff like that, and blase. But we never really just heard him in this light.
Jay was never as hard as those two. Jay didn't come out with Cop Killer with a metal band with like Ice-T did.
Oh,
Or anything NWA did. Jay didn't do anything as hard as NWA ever. Like
yeah.
ever. Jay was never that hard. It's guys like Ye coming out, and none of these guys that are like the big heavy hitters now came out like they were in the late 80s, early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And then have turned it around to be like household names in not just, in white houses. We'll throw it out there. Cube is like, he is like America's black dad, like Bill Cosby was without the rape stuff. I mean, he is.
Did you have to go there?
I did. He's booking
you
shows
know-
now. In case
hey,
you guys
you-
didn't know, Bill Cosby booking shows now.
Hey, if you think about it, Bill Cosby has done the exact opposite as what Ice Cube has done.
Yep.
Ice Cube went from this gangster ass just killer to it's nice guy. Are we
So,
there
like
yet?
Family Man. Yeah, are we there
Family
yet?
Man. And Bill Cosby went from this nice family man to just an old rapist.
Just the old rapist.
Just old nasty motherfucker. Like we all look like, you know what? Everybody looked up to the Huxtables. It's like the perfect family because nobody had a perfect family. Nobody had a doctor dad and a lawyer mom.
Nope.
It's like, oh, I want that. Lo and behold, he was slipping Spanish flies and hose drinks.
Yeah, it was definitely a time where Miss Huxtable, she made some mistakes. I'm telling you, made some mistakes that Jello was jiggling way too much.
Yeah,
and they let him around all the kids. The kids said the darndest things. Oh man, Cosby was. It's like with OJ. Remember when OJ was doing all that stuff?
I'm gonna stop you though. Bill Cosby wasn't messing with no kids though. There's a different level there.
Yeah, you're right.
He wasn't messing around with no kids. He was just messing around with them women, them grown women. He wasn't R. Kelly. He wasn't R. Kelly.
He wasn't the only R. Kelly.
Mm-mm.
We could go multiple ways on different people that have fallen from grace that were like in the like OJ, Cosby, Eddie Murphy at some point, but he's kind of coming back a little bit.
He came back after he got the shit slapped out of him.
Yeah, that happened. He went kind of the Ice Cube route where he went like with Raw, and then he kind of became the Family Guy, and then he kind of went away from. He had way too many. He was Nick Cannon before Nick Cannon was cool. Murphy was.
Oh yeah.
And then Nick Cannon took that to a whole nother level with, he's got, I think, he had 14 kids while we're still talking right now. You know how life goes.
True.
I think he on like 17, 18 at this point.
I think I just saw on the internet.
We don't know about him yet. We don't know about him yet.
I was gonna say, I think I just saw like a week or so ago that Nick Cannon just had his 12th kid or something like that.
Yeah, he had his 12th kid. But that don't mean the other ones ain't cooking in the oven at this point.
He's
True. It just means we'll find out in a little bit.
Popping out twins and shit. He's going there. But all right, let's talk about National Good Day here real quick. So they did. I don't know who actually did this. It was a couple of individuals that went through the song "Today Was a Good Day," and their clues to figure out why January 20th was the day is clue number one. In the song, it says, went to Short Dog's house and they was watching Yo MTV Raps. Well, Yo MTV Raps first aired in August 6th of 1988. So it happened after 88. Clue two, Today Was a Good Day was released February 23rd of 93. So it's between August 6th of 98 and February 23rd of 93, somewhere in the middle there. Clue three was the Lakers beat the Supersonics. So between those like 5 years or so, that only happened like 10 times. And the last time that happened was January 20th. But clue four, to narrow it down even further, the date that the Lakers beat the Supersonics when there was a clear day with no smog. There's only 4 dates that happened. One in 88, one in 89, one in 91, one in 92. Clue five, got a beep from Kim and she can fuck all night. Beepers weren't adopted by mobile phone companies until the late 90s. That only rules out then January 18th of 91 and January 20th of 92. And then clue number six, Ice Cube starred in the film Boys in the Hood that was released in late summer of 91, but being filmed in the late in late 1990 and early 1991. So he was on set filming during January 18th of 91 and too busy to be lounging around in the streets with no plans. So, ladies and gentlemen, January 20th, 1992 is National Good Day Day. They literally went through the song and broke it all out for us. How they figured that out, kudos to them.
Yeah.
We also know that, so Kim can fuck all night on January 20th of 92. Hopefully she still can now. Shout out to Kim.
No,
Way to
I
hurt her.
hope not. I hope not. That's 32 years ago. And
She's got stamina, Darius. Stamina.
I'm guessing she about late 50s, early 60s at this point.
Well, all night for her might be a little bit shorter, but you know,
It'll
it works
end
out.
all night ends at 4 p.m. when dinner starts.
There you go. Yeah. Kim, get your
take
geriatric ass on up out of here.
Oh, I can't wait till Darius is older. I can't wait to see old Darius go ratchet on some people.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna start saying shit because he's gonna say he's just gonna be old. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Ice Cube. Real names: O'Shea Jackson Sr., American rapper, actor, and filmmaker. Started out in the rap group CIA, which was Crew in Action, before joining Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, Arabian Prince, DJ Yella, and MC Ren to form NWA in 1987. I thought they were around further than that, but I guess 87 was when they started. His lyrics on NWA's debut, Straight Outta Compton, are credited with sparking the popularity of the gangster rap scene, especially the West Coast scene. He's been kind of known as the originator of the scene. Everything kind of sparked from him. Cube, especially with NWA, is known for its violent lyrics, condoning and perpetuating police violence and civil unrest. And now he's America's favorite dad. He left NWA in 1989, which there's a couple of tracks on this album I think about that, over a monetary dispute with Eazy-E and Jerry Heller to go solo. So if you guys didn't watch the NWA movie, it's actually pretty good. Breaks that whole thing down. His first acting role was in 1991, playing Doughboy in Boys in the Hood, which was loosely based on the song Boys in the Hood. He's got 10 studio albums. I did not know that. 27 singles, inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with NWA in 2006. Has not been inducted yet on his own. I'm guessing it'll probably come soon. No major awards for like Grammys and that sort of stuff. I don't even think the best rap album was even on a category until the mid-90s.
Okay.
Big cinema break, though, was in 1995 when the film Friday was released, a film that he helped write and produce, turning it into a successful franchise, and it turned Ice Cube into a marketable star, which is a dude that got fired on his day off. I mean, turned into a star.
How you get fired on your day off?
If you haven't seen the movie Friday, I don't know. You need to go to sleep. It's school in the morning.
Hey, look, I'm gonna get. Hey, look, I gotta get like a little trivia real quick.
What's up,
Brandon? Why did he get fired on his day off?
You've seen Friday, right, Brandon?
Crickets.
Hell no, his ass hasn't seen no Friday. We
Oh,
watch Friday before we filmed this.
Should have made him watch Friday.
Oh man.
He got fired for stealing boxes.
He took boxes from his place of business. Boxes they were throwing away.
Boxes, but you guess what though? It turned out because they got the extra footage that Ezel actually stole the boxes.
Yeah.
All right, I'll have to watch it now.
We gotta get you. You ain't watched none of the Fridays. Friday, next Friday.
Nothing.
Friday after
Really?
that.
I haven't seen any of them, guys.
Y'all need like a guys' night, man, and we need to watch the whole Friday franchise.
I love it. We should do. Dude,
That'd be
there's
fun.
so many references in the very first one and the second one too. Not so much the third one, except for the slap your mama thing. That's on there.
There's a lot of references in that third one. You just ain't watch it good enough.
Oh, I've watched it. It's just I haven't watched it recently.
Yeah, it's about that pimping.
The pimp. Oh yeah. Is that Cat?
Yeah, top flight security of the world, Craig.
Oh, that is number 3.
That
was because 2 is when Epps comes in for the first time. I wish he'd make another one and bring back Chris Tucker on there, get another one in with him and Mike Epps.
They too goddamn old now.
That'd be funny though. So he has actually appeared in over 40 films, produced a long-running TV series on TBS, based on the movie Are We There Yet? He actually had a TV series based on that show. One of the best pictures ever on TV. He actually appeared with Elmo on Sesame Street.
Mm.
You want to see some funny shit? Watch the video of Ice Cube and Elmo on Sesame Street. It's the funniest damn thing in the world.
Interesting.
But again, that's his turn. He goes from Doughboy to hanging out with Elmo.
Right.
It is kind of what it is. How many millions of listeners do you think Ice Cube gets on Spotify a month?
Ooh,
What's his average?
I'm going 16.
16 mil?
I was gonna go 20.
Okay. 13.3.
Mm.
Just over 13 mil. Not bad. The album The Predator was released November 17th, 92. Third studio album, 16 tracks, 56 minutes long. Album was released just months after the 1992 LA riots, and many tracks do hit on the racial tensions that were going on in the US at the time. This is actually Cube's only #1 album, selling 193,000 copies its first week. In 2001, it was certified double platinum, which means it went over 2 million in sales. It did have 3 singles. It Was a Good Day, National Good Day Day, Wicked, and Check Yourself were the 3 singles. But yeah, so that's a little bit about Ice Cube. There's a lot more. Guy's been around forever. He's kind of touched the music industry a lot. The Predator is potentially his best selling album. It's between this one and America's Most Wanted as his top solo album, I think. America's Most Wanted was his debut, which was just crazy. But Darius, let's get into our favorite tracks here before we get into our games, which are going to be a great time, I think. What was your favorite track on the album?
Now you say the games. I just can't imagine Brandon having to read these lyrics.
I'm doing it this time.
Are you doing it?
I took one for the team.
Oh man, that should have been Brandon. Okay. You said my favorite?
Favorite, yes.
My favorite is Dirty Mac. I like that song because it's a ode to like it. That term is still being used to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Dirty Mac. And that's just basically a nigga hating on you. You didn't told him your plans with a little chick or something like this. He gonna go backdoor you. People still use Dirty Mackin to this day. And he created a wave with the Dirty Mackin. So fellas out there, if you listen to this, don't be a Dirty Mac.
Yep. There you go. Good advice from Darius Stowers, guys.
Don't be a Dirty Mac.
Don't be a Dirty Mac. Brandon, what about you? What was your favorite track?
I picked where did my notes go? Oh no. I picked When Will They Shoot? The beat and rhythm that Ice had behind him on this track, catchy, kind of really helped push the lyrics forward on this one. Also, the lyrics on this one are a deep look into this guy's life as a black man. And as a white guy, I clearly have no idea what that's like, what Ice's life was and is for that matter. But listening to this track gives a good 4-minute, 35-second snip of that, I think. The lyrics are pinpointed and deep. And yeah, so that one for me was my favorite track. What about you, Steve?
I went chalk, man. It was a good day.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite. It is my favorite Ice Cube track that isn't from NWA. Tops down. It's one of those ones that you hear that beat and you instantly know what the track is. The lyrical cadence is something that you really haven't heard from Ice Cube on this album up to this point. Like this is one that he really he rapped, but it was slower and it wasn't as angry. Like he was actually like kind of chill. And the fact that he did go from like this album to America's Sweetheart in like a 10-year period is amazing. Like the pop culture references from the track, to have a holiday named after it. I don't think anyone would have guessed the turn in 92, which is what, 30 years ago now? It is 30 years ago now. Holy jeez. Oh man. But yeah, I don't think anybody would have guessed it would have been that Ice Cube would be where he is now with Ice-T as well. But with those guys where they were in the early 90s to where they are now, nobody would have expected that.
Right.
But I love the track. I still love the references. I listen to it now and it still makes me laugh, and I love the track. So, Brandon, we got a game up next, right?
We do, guys. It is time for the iced wang.
Chili.
Let's play wine. Let's play wine. Word association ain't game.
All right, guys. So we are back, and now there are 16 tracks on this album.
Yes, there are.
I decided that's a lot of tracks. So instead of 2, I'm going to do 3 word association name game songs.
The Wang trifecta, huh?
The Wang trifecta, absolutely. So, guys, here is your first song. Before you wreck yourself.
Oh, check yourself.
Absolutely.
Check yourself.
We gotta stop
Easy.
you right there.
That was
Easy.
easy.
Super
Easy.
easy. Next one. Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
I know what it is.
Oh,
Low hanging
no.
fruit, Brandon. Low hanging fruit. It's wicked.
It is wicked.
Wicked.
Yep, absolutely. This next one, it's by far my favorite. Homeless Ronald.
Go for it. Go for it, Darius.
I don't think I know it. What is
Homeless Ronald.
I'm looking at
Oh,
the track list. Hold on, my bad.
No,
I
you're
wasn't even on
good.
the track list.
Homeless Ronald. Steve, you know what it is, right?
yes, I do.
Okay. All right.
Homeless Ronald.
We talked about it already, Darius, a
Oh,
little
yeah.
bit.
Oh, y'all talked about it.
No. You
No,
talked
you
about
talked
it.
about it.
Oh, Dirty Mac.
It's Dirty Mac.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
Homeless
Dirty
Ronald.
Mac.
Homeless Ronald. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Homeless
Good old
Mac.
Dirty McDonald.
Little Dirty McDonald. Absolutely. Oh man. All right. So guys, let's talk about those least favorite tracks. Steve, start us off, man. What was your least favorite track?
My least favorite track was "We Had to Tear This Motherfucker Up," and the time period this album came out, it kind of intrigues me. I remember the LA riots and the Rodney King stuff as a kid. I was like 8, 7, 8 years old when this came out. So I remember my mom and like watching the news and seeing it on TV because they showed it incessantly. It was like this and the OJ thing, but I remember not really understanding what was really going on. But there's a lot of music that came out of the riots that it kind of explained what's happening. And for me, this track was pretty underwhelming as like a protest and riot inspired song. It really felt like Cube kind of phoned this one in a little bit. The opening had some promise with that like preacher kind of send up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then there wasn't a lot of meat behind it. So like he had the angry Ice Cube tone and the Ice Cube like cadence, whatnot, but there wasn't really much else to it other than like just a few minutes of just nothing. And I felt like he just kind of phoned this one in because it was a track that was specifically about the riots, and he had to get something on there. And it had a lot more. I thought it had a lot more to give. He just didn't go for it in this one. So we had to tear this motherfucker up is what I picked for my least.
Okay. All right. Darius, what about you?
It's gonna be an unpopular opinion here because I actually love this song. I just don't think it belongs here. It was a good day. Today was a good day. I feel like they was like, we need a radio single. We got to put this on there, but it didn't match the tone of the rest of the album at all. Like it seemed like it's just like you just got like just one freckle that's just on your face, and you're like, where the fuck did that come from? I mean, it's cute, but why? You know, so I would think that was my least favorite on this album, as far as belonging there. I love the song, not on this album.
Okay.
I can see
All
that.
right.
It is the oddball. If you're looking for a least favorite on an album that you like, you have to kind of find the odd track, and that is the odd track.
Yeah, for sure.
What about you, Brandon? What you got?
I picked Wicked as my least favorite track on this one. I really had to nitpick, honestly, as to which one was the least favorite on the album, because if I'm being honest, and Darius kind of mentioned it earlier when we were talking about like rap music and whatever. Yeah, I've never really been a fan of this kind of rap music or rap music in general. I've just never really, never really been my thing. It was, but with all that kind of said, I chose this as my least favorite because there was like this high pitched screech musically that was behind this whole track throughout. And to me, it distracted from the content that was happening lyrically. So I tried to get around it, tried to focus on the lyrics and what was going on, but I couldn't because that screechiness in the background. So a lot of my review, guys, as you can probably tell, is based around the music more than the lyrics because I relate more to music than lyrics on this one. Who would have thunk? But
You don't relate to the lyrics at all? Come on, Brandon.
I mean,
come on.
I mean, I'm sure I can a little bit, but not a whole lot. So anyway, so guys, it is time for our second game. Steven, what's this game?
It is a Shatner Poetry Slam. I get to read lyrics off. This is gonna be great.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, this is Shatner's Poetry Slam.
Oh man, then my phone just died.
You know, I had to actually. Did we lose him?
No.
No.
Oh, I thought you like froze. You like, I don't know if you like froze yourself up for a second. There, I was just like, did he just like intentionally freeze himself? My phone just not. And like hold the pose for him. I'm like, damn, we lost him.
I'm holding it. I'm holding it.
So I actually picked a song that I hope you guys get quick because there's only a couple of words I can't say in here, so we're good. I think I'm gonna start this one in a second. Part of the verse. I think you'll get it if I start from the beginning. Not guilty. The filthy devils tried to kill me. When the news got to the hood, the word I can't say will be hotter than cayenne pepper, cause bust. Kicking up dust is a must.
We had to tap this motherfucker up.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Darius has this game.
Motherfucker
I think you
up.
might be able to get this one, Brandon.
We shall see.
Yeah, of course, there it is. All right, here we go. I'm gonna start this one in a second. The second part of the first two. It says the name like really quickly. All right. Little boy blue is out of Folsom. Now then, three little pigs gotta roast them.
Gangsta's Fairy Tale 2.
There we go, Brandon. I got you.
Yeah, look at that.
I get you to go. When I had to peep out Miss Muffet.
Yeah.
Eating grits.
Yep.
I was hoping to go because she saw the Mac 10 and the bitch had the shits. I was the rhyme of this one just made me laugh more than anything else, and it was relatively cleanish that I could say all the words.
Yeah.
All right, so that was Shatner's Poetry Slam. Let me off easy.
I did let you off easy. Yeah, I think there was only one time where you couldn't say the words. So
just one, yeah.
Just one time. Okay,
I had to read a lot of lyrics to figure out the best ones to go after that one.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right, guys, let's talk about those deep cut dark horse tracks. I'll start us off on this one. And Steve, I picked your least favorite.
Did you know?
I did. I picked We Had to Tear This Motherfucker Up, primarily because I wanted to say the track title.
I think 100%.
Absolutely. But the actual reason was the thing that really drew me to this track was there was that bass line that was going on throughout this track. Super good. For me, a track like that with a solid groove just really draws me in. So that was the reason why I picked it. But we all know the real reason why I picked this track. So the track title, because it's fun to say. So there it is, guys. That's my deep cut track. Steve, what about you? What's your deep cut?
I think Don't Trust Them.
Okay.
Starting off with You Can't Trust a Big Butt and Smile.
Yep.
Yes. It made me laugh, and not much has changed in 30 years, so Big Butt and Smile will always lead you astray. But generally still worth it.
There you go.
I liked this track because it did mix in that delivery that Ice Cube had been known for, kind of the rough, loud, rough delivery, but they mixed that humor a little bit too. Not like with Gangsta's Fairy Tale 2, which is meant to be just kind of a fun fuck around track. This actually does have a little bit of substance to it, but there is some humor. He's not being super serious. You can kind of see the his comedy level kind of comes in a little bit. So I liked that. And the fact that you still can't trust the Big Butt and Smile. It's one of those things. So that was my deep cut track. Darius, what about you, man? What'd you pick for a deep cut?
I hate that I picked the same one, but I picked Don't Trust Him. Yeah, I loved it. Actually, it woke up my inner misogyny. Yeah, I loved it, man, from front to the end, man. And you know, what I really liked about it, I like that throughout this whole album, even like sprinkling in like Scarface and shit. You can tell that like that inspired like the whole gangster culture. To be honest, you think about it, because I think Scarface came out in the mid '80s, right?
Yep.
And 85, something like that. But and it inspired all these guys that really wanted to be gangbangers and dope dealers and all this stuff like that, man. Just like Godfather did. And a lot of these guys got their inspiration from that. That's what a lot of gangs got their structures from, is watching those movies. So
and a lot of them turned to Goodfellas. Have you ever seen Goodfellas?
Yeah, Goodfellas too. You know, and you know, a lot of times they say like, oh, how could y'all get into this? Or a lot of people say the government pushed this up on us. It kind of did, man. Like these pictures were glorified in the neighborhoods, you know, and not even just black neighborhoods, all neighborhoods, wherever the gangs and all the, you know, dope dealing and stuff. Shit, they watched the movies and structured their shit just like that.
Yeah, it was. I mean, and there a lot of those were interesting. Because a lot of those movies, like The Godfather and whatnot, were based on books, and like they were just done. Scarface was '83, by the way, so you're pretty close. Yeah, and like with Goodfellas and all those mob movies, people are enamored by that lifestyle of like the mob and the gangs, and like people want, even now, like, you get a movie that comes out, people still want to go see it and, you know, figure it out. I mean, the stuff with like Narcos, with Old Boy from Mexico or Venezuela, it just, that stuff is still popular. It's still like intriguing to have somebody who has their own fucking zoo. It is the reason that there's a hippo problem in Venezuela because you had a zoo because you could afford it because you were selling cocaine like it's going out of freaking style and making all this money and like the drug trade of the 70s 80s and like you said the government perpetuated it. They helped it. So it is kind of their fault. I mean, per se.
Yeah.
They glorified it. They glorified it, and then they helped pave the freaking way. So why not?
I don't know if you ever looked at the Iran-Contra deal, but shit, you can look that shit up. That shit is documented.
Well, yeah, there's
that the CIA was basically selling drugs, to fund this war over here. So
oh yeah, there's tons of if you want to go in the history of how we got to where we are with the war on drugs and like the makeup that we were trying to figure out while we were also on the backside doing some shady shit in other countries. Like it's a very interesting time. Like of the 80s were wild for more than those reasons, but the drug stuff was wicked with Reagan trying to war on drugs and also his side of the government selling drugs overseas, like gangbusters, funneling drug money to help with these other wars that were going on in different countries to get our own things going on. I love that part of history. I mean, it makes me very interested. But I agree with you. The government did kind of perpetuate the whole
and Hollywood themselves, man.
But also
they made Al Pacino and Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro and Ray Liotta, all them guys. They made them guys into superstars based off of monsters, and they made them. I mean, the monsters were superstars themselves. They still got quite a few monsters that still in the light. You know what I'm saying? And they still like big bosses, underbosses, and consigliaries and all them capos and all that good shit, man. They still got them folks. I think that I can't think of his name, but he was with the Astros the whole goddamn time, just riding on the bus, just chilling. And he was like I can't think of his name, but I lost it. Don't worry about it. But I
just think of like dudes like Wayne Ford, who was, they made movies about the party about that dude, and he finally just got off a couple years ago. But and you got to think too, with Hollywood, the government is kind of pushing that a little bit too. They said it before, the government does help push what gets made in Hollywood sometimes. So,
Yeah, but back to the original thing is, I like how you sprinkle it through there. I like you can see like the inspirations and stuff like that. And like a lot of times you can listen to music and you can kind of get a sense of what they was going through or like what things were popular during the day. Just like if you watch like an old comedy special, man, you get to see what was going on that day. Through that time, you get to talk about different things and Reagan and whatever was popular during the day, man. And it's nice to get that flashback in time from this album. Talk about the riots and Rodney King. I was far too young to remember that stuff, but you can get a sense of like how angry he was. And I think at one point they was like, "Why you being so violent with the music and blase blase?" And he's like, "Shit, this is just how we living right now." Or it's like, "Hey, I've been told you if you listen to the old music, you know what was gonna happen today. I tried to tell y'all 6 albums ago."
Yeah, he's like that was something that came out when this all was popping out. I tried to tell y'all back in 1987 with NWA what was going on, and you didn't believe me.
Yeah,
you didn't see it, and now you see it. We've been telling you this for years, and y'all listening. So like, you can hear the frustration in his voice when it comes out, and it's just that one I felt like he could give us more on. But I agree with Brandon. I do like the music on the track. It was nice. And like I said, the interlude starting off the preacher coming out was made it fire on that.
He was definitely a more militant based on how he alluded to more Malcolm X than Martin Luther King.
Oh, for sure, he was definitely about the violence.
Yeah, he was about the fighting back. So
yeah, for sure, he would have been in that camp before the civil unrest camp. He would have been more the Black Panther side of things, trying to push them a little bit more. If he'd been around the 60s, 70s. But final thoughts on this one. I miss this version of Ice Cube. I miss the ratchet, scary, doughboy-esque Ice Cube. I still think he's there from time to time. He comes out every so often. He uses that look when you still like people are giving him shit. He's just use that look, and you're like, yo, still don't fuck with that guy. He will still catch you. He just won't get away with it now. It's one of those things. It's fair that as we get older we do soften up. So I understand kind of how it happens. I never thought he would go the Family Man route. It was something I just didn't see coming. And for a solo album, as I said before, this probably is the second best solo album besides America's Most Wanted. This one I do feel like maybe better than that one, only because he's not as angry with NWA stuff. America's Most Wanted was almost an NWA diss track the whole way straight through, which he was pissed off about, which I totally understand with everything that fucking happened to him, how he got screwed over in NWA stuff. But this one felt like more of an actual Ice Cube album instead of a fuck you NWA album. So because this is coming out on National Good Day, I'm gonna go celebrate and have myself a good day. Probably get a cocktail or two here going for it. But for me, rating wise, I was 7.5 out of 10. I feel like it's a good album. Something that everyone should listen to and not cancel Ice Cube for. But check it out. I think you'll enjoy it, especially if you like hip hop. So what about you, Darius? You go final thoughts and Brandon can wrap us up.
Man, I really like this album, man. I really like the pictures being painted. I feel like that's good as far as like, old 90s hip hop. It's nice that, some stuff that we don't quite get as much of today. We get it from some artists, a lot of artists, but I got that picture of the times painted is what I mean. It's like we get a good sense of how people were feeling during that time. And it's almost like it's a period piece.
Yes.
So, and I really respect it as such. It's definitely history. It's history as it was happening. History from a black man and in his shoes. How was you feeling during that situation? So I really liked it from that standpoint. The mixing was dope. The beats were dope for the time. And what I'm saying, Ice Cube was Ice Cube, man. And I think a lot of people forget that he was a dope ass rapper.
Sure.
Because when you get into a different space, man, you Big Three, you this, you that, you Family Man, Friday. People forget that you was a good rapper. You know what I'm saying? And he one of the best to ever do it, man. Ice Cube, one of my favorites. So I'm gonna give him an 8 out of 10.
I like it.
I like it. All right. So as I mentioned earlier, I kind of am reviewing this album more from a music beat groove perspective than the lyrics.
We get it, Brandon. You don't like rap.
I never said that. I mean, okay. I never said I don't like it. It's just not one that I lean toward. So, but I can appreciate it, like as a musician and as somebody who appreciates music in general, I can appreciate this genre and the craft and the art because, man, rappers are poets. They rhyme. They share stories through a rhyme scheme and through a beat. Like that's a talent and a craft. And this album really kind of shows that, and I can appreciate that. So for me, the grooves were solid, lyrics were solid, and had some intense stories. And this is, yeah, Darius, like you said, a kind of like a period piece. And I mean, it was nice to listen to. It was good. It wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's just not on my musical alley, which is totally fine. So for me, I'm giving this one a 7 out of 10. So
we're in the same area there. So guys, that's we're all pretty much right in the 3/4, 80% range for the album. It's a good album. Give it a gander if you haven't checked it out yet. Darius, this is coming out on National Good Day, which is January 20th. You got anything coming out mid-January?
Mid-January. I have nothing going on mid-January. Oh yeah, I do. Oh no, you said what?
January 20th.
January 20th. January 20th.
Let's do we got a show on the 18th of February at Wealthy Theater. You know what I'm saying? So y'all make sure y'all come out and check us out. Brandon Quayshawn, David Colbert, Deuce, Chad Harris, and myself. We feel like the city on fire with that one, man. Rags to riches, road to riches, rags to riches, all the good stuff. So it's gonna be real dope, man. We hope to see the Wealthy Theater out and have a good time and have y'all gut busting laughing out here, man. So
I like it. Guys, follow Darius on Facebook, especially. He does post all of his comedy shows on there. Dude, he'll say he's not busy right now. He'll pick up 2 or 3 shows between now and then. It's kind of what happens to this guy. I see his face pop up on all kinds of stuff that I didn't know he was on until the day of, and I'm like, shit, there's Darius. But you guys can find him all over the place. It still is dropping podcasts, the Jungle Style podcast. You guys are doing a couple times a month right now, right?
Yeah, a couple times a month, but we're gonna pick back up here soon, man.
Yeah.
Just a lot of weather issues and a lot of dad traveling issues.
Dad traveling, holidays. I get it. Definitely life is life, and you guys are busy. So both are still new dads. That's a little bit. So I like it. Brandon, where can the fans find us? They haven't found us yet, I guess.
Yeah, guys, you can find us mainly on Instagram and Facebook. The Notes What Goes podcast. Just search for us on Instagram, the Notes What Goes pod. You can find the podcast on TikTok at Notes What Goes pod. From there, you can links to both Steve and I and our personal TikToks. Yeah, guys, we are still slowly trying to figure out other modes of entertaining you with the podcast, other different avenues. So we will get there and we'll share more as that comes. Yeah, so that is it for us. Darius, thanks for coming and hanging out with us tonight, man.
You know, I appreciate you guys, man. This is like family to me, man. So,
I love it.
I come on anytime y'all ask me to come on.
And eventually we're gonna have to do that due date out and get Brandon to watch Friday. We'll come on over and hang out.
Friday, look, Friday is a staple in the Black community, man. It's one of them things. It's just everybody has seen it from front to back. John Witherspoon, one of the funniest guys of all time. Smokey, Day on the next one, and you got DC Curry. Come on, man. We got to get you on this, man.
Okay.
Little Joker.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You got Debo. Come on now.
Debo, come on. You probably said bye Felicia and shit, and you don't even know where it comes from.
You're 100% correct. You are calling me out.
Essentially like Jackson. Actually, like Freddie Jackson.
Right. Shit.
Yep.
And Nia Long, Brandon. Nia Long. I'm just saying right now.
Yes. You get to see Nia Long in her prime, but she was.
Fine.
She's still fine.
She is still fine.
She was. But I'm just saying though. Just come on. You got to do this for yourself, man.
Okay.
Watch Friday before the month out. Watch Friday.
Okay.
Watch Friday.
Yeah. Oh, I will.
You'll have a good time. Everyone watch Friday before the end of the month. You'll have a good day.
Not like what you did there.
See, I can make a little joke.
Look at you.
So, all right, guys. This has been Ice Cube and his album, The Predator. This was a fun one. That's all I got to say. I don't know. This is the Notes What Goes podcast. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Steve.
And we'll see you guys Tuesday.
See you guys.
Notes, but goats. Notes.